my absolutely beautiful Aries friends, and welcome to your horoscope for December of 2021, our last monthly forecast for the year. I cannot even believe it. And whether you've been traveling with me the whole time or you're brand new here, I just want to say thank you so much for the privilege of getting to travel with you another month, another year, and I cannot wait to see what 2022 brings us and the guidance that will be available for all of us as well. Now, before we get in here, Aries, and take a look at what's going on, as you may know, one of my favorite collaborations that I do anytime is with Astrology Hub, and we have got the free forecast event coming up. You can get signed up for free, and yes, the YouTube Academy will continue this year, but also if you feel like you need more, you want more personal time in a community, you want more time with teachers like me one-on-one, I really encourage you to come hang out with us a little bit and check out Astrology Hub. And the free forecast event is a great chance to do it because we're going to be on a panel of astrologers telling you things that are coming up from 2022. So step in, check it out. The link's in the description box down below. Can't wait to see you there, okay? All right, Aries. So big things going on this month is, first of all, coming right into the beginning of the month, we're going to have an eclipse happening, and this one is a solar eclipse. Now, we had a lunar eclipse last month. This one is a solar eclipse. We're also going to have Venus taking a retrograde beginning this month and moving all the way into the energy of January of 2022. We've got Jupiter moving into the energy of Pisces, and Saturn and Uranus having their last big exact square at the end of this month as well. So plenty of things happening up there. Let's see how it shakes out for your greatest good. Now, right at the beginning of the month on the 1st, we're going to see Neptune come direct in its home planet or domicile of Pisces. Now, Neptune has been retrograde since June of 2021, and as Neptune is retrograde, what it tends to do is it takes away the delusions. So if you have felt like from June until now, the world maybe even felt a little bit heavier to you, like the delusions or this just, I can do this, I can keep going. You know, if you felt like some of that wind has come out of your sails, that is exactly what Neptune retrograde will do in transit, is it sweeps out the delusions. It really makes your reality very concrete so that you have to deal with what is in front of you. Now, if you happen to have Neptune retrograde in your birth chart, this Neptune retrograde may have had you being very much so out of yourself instead of inside of yourself. You've maybe been moving your feet to make some of the ideals you've had within come alive outside of you. It can be a really interesting energy. But for you specifically, Aries, in the general, this has been lighting up your 12th house space. So secrets, delusions, things with mental health. I would think that things that need to transition out or be brought to culmination, spiritual practices, all of these things, if they have not been in tip-top shape or they've needed work and attention, Neptune has pulled delusions away so that you can work on what's absolutely there, okay? Now, on the 4th, we're going to see this solar eclipse happening in the energy of Sagittarius at 12 degrees. This is going to light up for you, Aries, this 9th house space. Publishing, marketing, broadcasting, higher education, travel, international languages, things that have to do with the law. Now, the solar eclipse is still the new moon for the month, so we are planting our seeds of intention here, but we plant them in the soil of magic. It's dark. You have to plant what you would like to see expand in this particular area, and over this next 6 months, we'll watch it come to fruition. Now, I really do think, timing wise, for you to start paying attention to, we're going to have this solar eclipse happening right here on the 4th. But then we're also at the end of the month going to have a full moon in the energy of Gemini. And I think whatever you plant your seeds of intention to begin or move forward under this eclipse energy, you'll start getting information about what you need to know, say, or do next as we get to that full moon. So we'll cover that in just a minute. Now, on the 13th, we're going to see Mars, your ruling planet, your ruling energy, move forward into the energy of Sagittarius. So again, now we've had this solar eclipse here. We've planted seeds of intention. Then Mars moves into Sagittarius, and you are motivated to take action and strategy to move something forward. Not only that, Mars in Sagittarius really will show you what your current belief structures are. What ideas or ideals or philosophies do you have, Aries, that govern your life and your physical action and movement right now? But also, what do you desire to experience and to see and to touch and to taste in the world? This is the kind of stuff we find out as Mars is in the energy of Sagittarius. I wouldn't be surprised at all for some of you as well. You know, if your parents or something, or you're traveling, you're like going off to see what's next. It could very much so be connected to family as well. Now on the 13th, we're going to see Mercury move into the energy of Capricorn, lighting up your 10th house space. Mercury in this area of Capricorn, you're gathering information, having conversations about work. Your thinking becomes very method, like I'm doing it by the process. The questions you'll have are the solid foundations here. Does this help me achieve? You can sort out things if you need to make high-end decisions in your life. Mercury is perfectly well suited in this energy. The one thing you do want to be mindful of is that your conversation and the way that you're speaking and acting and responding to people doesn't become abrupt and cold, therefore actually shutting down conversation. But if you need to put your foot down on a couple things, Mercury and Capricorn will absolutely help you do that. On the 18th, we've got this full moon happening in the energy of Gemini, and this is going to be happening and lighting up your 3rd house space. So communications, travel, education, learning, writing that book, writing that website, buying, selling the home, things that have to do with siblings. All of these things get lit up under the full moon that says we need to end something, acknowledge something, or make an adjustment to something in your communication zone, a contract, a deal, something like that. You'll need to make adjustments, and likely you started seeing the inklings of what needed to swap in order to begin something new, like I said, on the 4th of December at that particular solar eclipse. So you're going to want to pay attention to where this is lighting up in your particular chart. And if you don't have a chart, please click in the description box down below and come get one from me, okay? On the 19th, we've got Venus stepping into the retrograde into the energy of Capricorn in your 10th house. Now, Venus has already been slowed down since the 17th of November. So it's been showing you what you're going to work on at this particular time until we get to January 29th, and the full cycle will see relief in March of 2022. Now, Venus retrograde in this 10th house, you are reviewing, revising, re-editing, reevaluating, revaluating if your career zone, if your title in the world is still valuable to you. Does it have the financial resources that it needs to survive and to achieve? In your relationship zones, right? Your conscious chosen one-on-one relationships, that's business, that's romance, that's, you know, connections that you're bound to legally. Is the financial piece in place? Is the relationship solid? You're going to go back over all of that. But your career and your title, and when I say title, what I mean is, do we call you mother? Do we call you boss? Do we call you married or single? What is your title? You are reevaluating it at this time to see if it will stick, if it's solid enough to help you achieve. Does this idea, does this foundation still have value in my life? And if not, you will definitely start to see things falling out because you'll make decisions to push them out. Venus is still Venus. If you applied for a job, a loan, were owed some money, you can definitely see it coming back in a Venus retrograde. And yes, old lovers can sometimes present themselves again. So I look forward to seeing how that works out for you. Let me know in the comment section down below. All right, when we get to the 21st, we are going to see the sun move into the energy of Capricorn. So now we've got a lot of conversation happening at the top of the chart. But the sun moving into Capricorn brings light, heat, life, and vitality to your career zone, to what you're doing in public, your ambition that you want, you know, your new age, right? Or you're not 20 anymore, unless of course you're 20, right? Are you another year older? Have you advanced? Where do you feel like you're at in your accomplishments in the world? These are solid, sturdy questions that get you on track to move in the directions that you need to go. But they're also questions as the sun here that make us stop and celebrate where we've come from, because age misses no one. Time is touching all of us. So as Venus is retrograde here and the sun moves in, what are you spending your time on? That is the real currency of your life. So what are you spending your time on, and what is it helping you achieve? Lots gets done when that sun gets into Capricorn. Now, on the 24th, we're going to see Saturn and Uranus come into their last head-off in this square between the Uranus-Saturn square. We saw it before in February, we saw it again in June, and now this last one here is in December. So for you, this is a heading off that is happening for you, you know, in your Aquarian house, which is very much so the 11th house space, groupings, your ideas about groupings, your long-range plans, and your money. These two have been in challenge with each other all year long. It could feel like there's some anxiety here, or maybe there was a desire to be free from old plans that you had in your life, and you want a different concept of how to work. You want a different concept of how you bring technology into your life to create this freedom instead of being in this conforming energy that didn't fit before. Maybe you had to break out of your friendship groups or association or organization alignments because you found out that you don't belong to them anymore, or you don't fit the same ideals. We may feel some of that anxiety creeping up as this last hit comes, but really I feel like this one has us a lot more prepared to understand why we made the changes of decision and alignment that we did. On the 28th, we're going to see Jupiter move into the energy of Pisces, where it will stay until May of 2022, and it'll slip into Aries for a while and then come back a little bit into Pisces. But Jupiter in Pisces is going to light up your 12th house space. Now, Neptune is over here as well. Jupiter and Neptune, both rulership of Piscean energy. So in your 12th house space, you're going to start to have this expansion, right? You may have teachers that even show up, Jupiter in your life, but is this expansion, this wisdom that comes from between the worlds. It is also Jupiter in the 12th house tends to act as a guardian angel. So the things that you need to tackle, come to the other side of, face, get ready to confront so that they can be transitioned out, spiritual practices, spiritual writing, spiritual work, comes out of us with a bit more ease. So I wouldn't be surprised at all, Aries, if there are not spiritual awakening after spiritual awakening after spiritual awakening coming to you. But also Jupiter in Pisces, if there have been secrets, there has been mistrust, there have been any of those things, it will definitely get put on an expanded view under a magnifying glass so that you have an opportunity to look at it, okay? Now, before we close out the year, we're going to see that Mercury on December 29th moves into its pre-retrograde shadow time, getting ready for its retrograde January 14th, okay? Now, I always like to let you know about this so you can see where the energy is vibrating at. So I'm going to want you to pay attention to 24 degrees of Capricorn. What is starting to happen for you at that degree in your chart? Pay attention, because it's going to be between 24 degrees of Capricorn and 10 degrees of Aquarius energy that we're going to see the retrograde happen. And so it slows down here, and then of course it'll back up from 10 to 24, okay? So pay attention to that, mark it in your chart, and watch the lessons that are coming, because that will be what the Mercury retrograde focuses you in on. All right, my absolutely beautiful friends, I hope you have a gorgeous last month of 2021. Please let me know what's happening for you in the comment section down below. I love you guys, and I'll see you next year. Bye.